Imagine this. It's the early 1900s and women are walking down the streets of New York or London dressed to the nines. But hidden in their fashion accessories is a surprising weapon, foot-long hatpins. Yes, these seemingly innocent accessories were actually used as weapons for self-defense. Welcome back, history lovers, and today we're uncovering the mind-blowing story of how women used hatpins to protect themselves from danger. Back in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, fashion was changing. Women began wearing large, elaborate hats as a symbol of independence and modernity. But with these hats came a new accessory, the hatpin. These weren't ordinary pins. They were often over a foot long, sharp as needles, and used to secure these massive hats to the women's hairstyles. Hatpins became a staple of women's fashion, but little did anyone know they would soon serve a more practical and dangerous purpose. During this era, women faced an increasing number of dangers on the streets. As more women began working, commuting, and enjoying their independence, they also faced harassment, particularly in crowded cities. Women weren't always protected by the law, and many felt vulnerable to mashers, a term for men who harassed and assaulted women in public. With few options for self-defense, women began using the one tool they had on hand, their hatpins. These foot-long pins became an unexpected weapon for women determined to defend themselves against unwanted advances. Women quickly learned that these long, sharp hatpins were more than just a fashion accessory. They could be drawn like a sword, pointed at attackers, or even jabbed at those who got too close. In some cases, women used them with expert precision, sending a clear message to anyone who tried to harass them. Stories began to spread about women fending off attackers with their hatpins, creating a wave of empowerment. It was a new form of self-defense, one that helped women reclaim a sense of safety in the streets. But this new weapon didn't go unnoticed. Men and public officials began to view hatpins as a threat, and newspapers started warning about hatpin peril, claiming that women's hatpins were dangerous and could harm innocent bystanders. Cities in the US and Britain began to pass laws limiting the length of hatpins. Some cities even required women to cap their hatpins with corks to reduce the risk of injury. Women protested, arguing that they needed these pins for protection, but the fear of armed women led to public outcry and strict regulations. Despite the backlash, hatpins became a symbol of women's independence and resistance. They were more than just a tool for self-defense. They represented a shift in women's roles and a newfound sense of autonomy. Women wore their hatpins as a statement, a reminder that they were not to be underestimated. The hatpin became a powerful symbol of defiance, reminding the world that women could and would protect themselves, even if it meant weaponizing their own fashion. As fashion evolved in the 1920s, hats became smaller, and hatpins gradually disappeared from everyday use. But the legacy of the hatpin lives on. It was a moment in history when women turned fashion into a tool for self-defense, a unique chapter in the ongoing fight for women's safety and independence. The era of the hatpin may be over, but its story remains a fascinating reminder of how women use creativity and resilience to protect themselves in a world that often refused to protect them. If this story surprised you, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, follow and subscribe for more hidden stories from history. Let us know in the comments. Would you have carried a hatpin for self-defense back in the day? Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.